right, so we've had Cyberpunk come out. We've all played it. There's been a lot of us that have finished it. I have not actually finished it. I've gotten up to roughly about Act 2. That's the farthest on Nomad storyline. So I still have a few more playthroughs to do of the game myself also. But I've seen a ton of videos and pictures and everything, clips around the internet showing different ways that the game is breaking and glitching out and such. And from the stuff that I know about game engines and how everything works, it's coming down to from what I can see, from what I can tell of what I keep seeing, everybody just listing different things that are breaking in the game. It seems like the older hardware is having a harder time trying to actually stream the data. I actually just heard that from a podcast. Somebody said that it's probably a data streaming, like a limitation on that. The way I was saying it on social media, on Twitter, is that it seems like the older generations of hardware is really choking and bottlenecking the whole game engine overall. That's the reason why you have, guns not appearing in cutscenes. You have sometimes very low quality versions of assets loading in and everything. So I remember I distinctly said on one of the Let's Talks, whether it was a trailer or a Night City Wire or something, I definitely said that after Halo had a very bad response to that trailer, I definitely, it popped in my brain of Cyberpunk coming out, and I'm like, they should probably drop the PS4, Xbox One versions of the game and drop, Stadia. Stadia is kind of easy to work with because it is literally just a PC and you're streaming it over. It just comes down to how well the stream of Stadia actually works onto your hardware that you are trying to access Stadia through. But I remember I definitely said, like, this should be a next gen only, meaning like PS5, Series XS hardware and PC. Now PC, can be way more forgiving just on the fact that PC hardware, people always run games under optimized on their systems anyways. In a sense, if you don't have like the newest, greatest, most giant rig of a PC, you're usually running on hardware that is maybe like a year or two, behind the curve on what the latest stuff is. In that fact, the PC version, I don't think I've seen too much. There is definitely still some bugs and nothing that's like terribly game breaking that's happening on the PC version. But I definitely have seen the most stuff on the Xbox One, PS4 versions, which is the reason why we have the latest bit of information, which is, if we come over to Twitter here, about they're trying to do the hot fixes, in which on their website, I mean, it's just like a ton of different stuff. This has got some spoiler stuff in it, so I'm not gonna keep that around too much, but like improved reaction times, NPCs taking cover, correct number of shots needed to kill civilians from distance, okay, but fix an issue with Delamain's image displaying on top of the current caller during phone calls. So it's little things like that there's still, little bug fixes here and there that not exactly game breaking, but at the same time they're very distinctly, you can see them and they pop out. Appear in the quest, stay in love, fix T-posing NPCs in certain areas, brain dance to possibly be stuck in third person view with no head, silencer icons, no, fixes an issue with weapon crosshairs persisting on screen. I just had one happen on the PC where, and I am updated to version 104, where a camera tried to hack me. I didn't get it on video or anything, but a camera tried to hack me. This literally happened like a few hours ago, when I was trying to get the PC version up to where I had the PS4 or 5 version. But camera tried to hack me. I think it was a camera anyways. Something tried to hack me, and then I literally hacked it back and it got stuck on the screen of like uploading. It's little things like that, you have to restart the game to get that bug to work its way out. That to me, if it's happening even on like the PC level of stuff, I mean, I am running an i5, so it could also be that the game engine is just being choked from data transfers and everything on that fact. Like the i5 is doing the best job it can, but of course, if you don't have constant data transfer, the whole thing can lock up on you. Um, so we are definitely seeing it's as much as the AMD fanboy crowd is going on and on and on. Like this game is actually kind of not optimizing properly on AMD CPUs. Also, fanboys will be loud and everything. You run whatever hardware that you have in your system, of course. But it is interesting to see that AMD's hardware that is actually the game is technically retrofitted for AMD hardware, that AMDs are actually having kind of a hard time running, the different game engine stuff. So a lot of stuff is coming in a brand new patch update of 105. So they are still cranking out the patch fixes, the bug fixes, and everything. But the big news is, of course, the PlayStation version of the game is I can full screen it. Yes, the PlayStation version of the game is temporarily suspended from the PlayStation Store. It's also happening on Microsoft's end too, where Microsoft is taking it off the Xbox storefront. You can get refunds and everything. I think I am going to actually. You're not going to be seeing any more of the PlayStation version of the game on my streams or videos or anything, because I am currently in the process of getting the refund from the PlayStation Store. Sorry, the CDPR devs. I'm sorry on that. I just have a working copy on the PC. I'm more focused on like the mods and everything, so I'd just rather play it on the PC. But I do like this crossover stuff, like the Death Stranding crossover stuff is really cool. Like I do think overall there is a great, like a lot of people are saying, there's a great gem of a game. Also sending out confirmation. So I think this is for more of the PC side of things too. So there's a lot of people that are getting the refunds and such. And I can definitely say, like, launch night, this was my experience launch night right here. Easily, I mean, even I was having some bugs. This is the PS5 version running right here. So it's at 4K 60. Again, in the car here, everything is working pretty good, solid and everything. But then once I drove out, then boom, that's when I started getting a lot of bugs. Now, I can't stress this enough of like so we are in this cross generation, kind of gap of games being optimized for, or companies or developers especially are trying to optimize games for both the PS4, Xbox One user base and the PS5, Xbox Series user base, and then of course the 3080 graphics cards and the newest CPUs and everything. We're gonna start seeing that more often, where the PS4 and the Xbox One, they are older hardware, they're outdated hardware at this point. They are the last gen. I know not a lot of people are getting their hands on the newer hardware just because of scalpers and everything, which that's a whole other topic, and I am totally against scalpers. I think there definitely needs to be something retail done so you can get your hands on the newer hardware. Better captures happening, better security against bots and everything on the retailer side of things. People need to get their hands on the newer hardware, so then something like a Cyberpunk doesn't keep happening over and over and over. Like Halo Infinite is going to be the next one, where Halo Infinite is going to come out and it's not going to run that good at all on an Xbox One. It'll run probably all right on the Series X and S, and it's going to run really, really good on the PC. The Xbox One user base is going to probably suffer on that launch too. It's just the way that stuff works. Your hardware gets outdated. So, and it's not even a fault of the user base, consumer base, of not being able to get the newer hardware, because it's they're scalpers. So it's a really weird situation that we're in right now. where usually you can get the newest hardware pretty easily, and then it's just the way of the world right now with people exploiting systems and such, that all of a sudden the hardware, like I'm gonna, here I'll fast forward a little bit, but you'll definitely see, like, right off the bat, even on the PS5, there is still some concerning bugs of people just like floating in midair and everything. um I don't know where it is in this, but you'll see it. But anyways, so then there was also some stuff that came out about CDPR really rushing the game. The developers knew that the game is not fit to launch. The higher ups in management. Now, here's another giant point that I did want to get to in this video too, is that I know there's this big stigma around games launching that are not finished and everything, and there's a reason why we have massive day one patches happening for bug fixes and such. Unfortunately, Cyberpunk launched and the day one patch did not it did not fix enough stuff to where it could actually run on the older generations of hardware that a lot of people are stuck with. And that's just also a limitation of the game trying to kind of bottleneck itself. As I said, like, they're gonna have to really dumb down the graphics and everything. Right here you can see, like, the person is just floating. My prediction was that they were going to have to dumb down the graphic settings and all that, and maybe reduce some features down, take some features out of the game or something, to where to the point where the older hardware could actually handle the whole game experience, just like we've seen in past generations. Unfortunately, the game could not even run. So, I mean, you can also make I've also seen the argument of the whole thing where people are saying, well, Rockstar made Red Dead run. They made, Assassin's Creed made Valhalla run, which is very true. Also, different game engines. Every game engine is different. Every development team knows how to optimize for platforms, differently than all the other teams. So Red Dead makes miracles happen with optimization on consoles. That's the reason why Red Dead looks so good. Assassin's Creed has a lot of problems just because the teams don't always catch bugs as well. It's different departments, just having more time, more resources, more money, and different management, upper management. You can really fix up the product a lot better on different teams. So I guess the biggest thing is like, CD Projekt, they need some different people working management on the game. It's going forward. Hopefully we get enough patch updates, like version 3.0 of the game everything will be so smooth, and this game will run like nothing on the next gen systems and everything. And then we also have maybe some expansion packs. At this point, who knows? They might just end up dropping Cyberpunk because they are losing so much money on it. That's another thing too. With all these refunds coming in, they are definitely losing profits on this. So they might. I mean, Avengers just had the same problem happen. They actually took a major hit. The studio took a major hit on that one, which if I remember right, Square, I think, took a major hit on that. It's you never want to see it. You never want to see that happen. Both on when everybody's hyped up and excited for the virtual world and the experience of it, and it is a letdown. That's really bad. And then also on top of that, so many people. There's thousands of people who work on these products, and to see that they're years and hours and effort of hard work, and it doesn't land. It doesn't hit. It's really too bad. For the future of Cyberpunk, man, my prediction for the future of Cyberpunk would be it's going to get better. It is absolutely going to get better. They're going to keep working on it unless something really crazy happens where maybe CD Projekt because there's been a whole GOG fiasco happening with another horror indie game and everything. If people start boycotting the company, then we might not see anything happen with Cyberpunk or The Witcher or anything on that, that comes out of that whole circle of game development that they have, all those licenses. If they don't have the profits to do anything and the funding to do it, then it's not getting done. So yeah, it's really hard. It's kind of like CD Projekt. Their whole business is up in the air right now. It's hard to tell whether they're going to land solidly or if this could be. I mean, Cyberpunk could be one of the last things that they really put out there. You might see them go dark for a little while and figure stuff out internally in the company, and then they probably put out patch updates and such for Cyberpunk, just to get it working and to hope that the player base starts to kind of double back up again. So then when this game goes on sale, like I think that's going to be probably one of the biggest things. When this game goes on sale for half off, that's when you'll start seeing the player base, because the online trend of overhyping the drama, that will die off. That will absolutely die off. Then you have the sales that will hit, and then people will go, yeah, I don't know, I because word of mouth, I skipped it initially. Let's see if they fixed it up. And once you start having the sales, and let's see if they fix it up, that's when you'll start seeing the player base double up on this. It happens every single time. So how long that will be, who knows? Cyberpunk might be a sleeper hit 3-4 years from now. And we also have not had a next gen kind of like update for like ray tracing and such. You are literally just checking out the PS4 version without ray tracing, without any of that stuff on the next gen consoles, or the PS4 Xbox One version. Sorry. That is all you're seeing. You're seeing basically the last gen version on the consoles of this. PC is the only place, and you have to have pretty decent hardware. Like you have to have an RTX card just to be able to see this thing running at full potential. Sadly, that's just the way it goes. On the PC, it does have DLSS 2.0. It does have ray tracing capabilities, so it does look actually really good on the PC. It's still pretty glitched out. I've had a set number of glitches now where, if I have like 3 or 4 things go wrong, I'm just like, okay, yeah. I've had over a handful of things, kind of glitch out on the PC version after updating to 104. Just personal experience. That's what I've seen. It happens. It's just the reality of big, giant worlds, virtual experiences in the modern day environments. It's not, in all honesty, it's not even a fault of developers. It's more or less just there's so many versions of hardware out there now that this stuff happens. It's going to happen. But fortunately enough, there is a ton of games that just came out. So Cyberpunk being a dud for right now is not the end of the world. There is so many other great titles out there that you can actually check out and explore. So many virtual worlds and stories to be told. I mean, just I would definitely say for right now, just let the storm pass on Cyberpunk. Wait for them to finally get everything up to speed, up and worked on and all that, and then come back, maybe next year and see what happens. I definitely think if they're going to have this game running at 100% top notch, it will be by next year. If not, I think we won't be seeing any expansion packs or like all the hopes that everybody has of expansion packs and like DLC expansion packs and all that stuff. This next year is going to be crucial for this. And I know that they're most likely working overtime to try and make this actually, work on the older hardware. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on all this, the fails and the fixes of Cyberpunk 2077. Hopefully pretty soon I'll be streaming this again. Like I said, I haven't even finished Cyberpunk even one playthrough yet because just doing a bunch of different stuff. But from what I've seen, I've played the prologue probably 6 times over again, and And like this section right here, I've seen probably 2 or 3 times over again. Um, Running through all that, which is where I think I've seen a lot of the bugs come in at is in this section right here. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, you just gotta wait for it to to be fixed up. See, like even in that right there, like the table going down, it looks a little jank. It could also be that this game engine is just not the best game engine to work with. I don't know. This is I don't have a lot of history with The Witcher, and I don't have a lot of history with, like this is called the Red Engine. I don't have a lot of history with this engine, so of seeing what it can do and everything, of running on PC, running on console and such. I don't work with game engines. I just experience and trying to optimize games through the settings the way that the developers, put out there so you can do. But anyways, with all that being said, again, I think there is a very solid game in Cyberpunk. There's a lot of fun to be had here with a giant, massive story, a massive world, lots of guns, lots of swords and melees and upgrades to your upgrade system and everything. But it's just bogged down by a lot of janky, glitchy moments happening. So, yeah, I think I'm going to end it there with saying that definitely keep an eye on the channel, and you'll end up seeing like a pretty big playthrough of Cyberpunk, and just we'll see what glitches and stuff happens. I'm definitely going to be playing the PC version from here on out, so you'll be seeing the PC with the ray tracing and all that stuff run. But more Let's Talks coming soon, and all that, and more streams too. And yeah, I'm gonna call it there. So hit that sub button, that bell if you do want to check all that stuff out, the Let's Talks and more. And hit that thumbs up button, all that good stuff, all the YouTube stuff. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. Go check me out on twitch.tv/werewolf. And as always, I will see ya next time.